while. But I'm here today with an important update because there's some problems in precious plastic and it doesn't look good, so it's either gonna make it or not, and it's gonna be the end of it. I'll explain, but first a brief update on where the project is currently at in case you haven't been following closely. It started when I was making my own shitty plastic recycling machines in a garage. I shared the drawings online for free so others can build them as well, with the goal to reduce all this plastic waste in the world. Yeah, it was quite a big goal. And over time people joined the mission and helped out. Many more people actually. Together we continued improving all those machines and tools. And meanwhile people all around the world used what we made and started recycling. Collecting, shredding and melting plastic. People in Austria, Bangladesh, China, Colombia, Costa Rica, Indonesia, Italy, Panama, South Korea, Spain, United Emirates, Russia, Nigeria and many more. Nowadays, 10 years later, it's a large global community, with workspaces in 56 countries around the world, altogether recycling thousands of kilograms of plastic waste every day. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, but this was the good part of the video because we're here to talk about our problems. But in order to understand our problems, you first need to understand how we work. But let me show you with a visual. Here's the work we did and here the time passed. Starting in 2013 in the garage with the shitty machines, which was the release of version 1. Then I took a break. After a while some people wanted to help and I won an award, so spent all this money to improve the machines. Here we released version 2. Then again we ran out of money, so we had to take another break. But meanwhile we did gather some income, thank you patrons. And with this we made version 3. The first workspace in a shipping container. And then we ran out of money again, so back to waiting. But then at some point for some reason we got a very big workspace for free and we won a big award. Which means we could make things again. So this was version 4, our last one, and we made a lot of things. And after that, I guess you see the pattern, we spent all our money. But this time money was just one of the problems, we had a few more. First we had to leave our workspace because they found a chemical inside the paint from 30 years ago. We had to get rid of a lot of our equipment and machines. We came entangled in an expensive lawsuit in New York, without insurance. And through all of this we became less involved with the community itself. And we had a few other problems. Now I'm keeping the problems very brief because it's a bit heavy to share, but I can imagine maybe you want to know more about one of them. So I wrote an in-depth article with all the problems explained and where they're coming from, so you can read more. I would highly recommend to go there, and you can also ask some questions if something is unclear. So link is in the description, make sure to check it out. But overall, in a nutshell, it's been quite a few heavy years for precious plastic. I think I got a few extra grey hairs from it. And it's been heavy for everyone that's been involved. So currently this team is actually very small. We all work remote, so we don't have a workspace. And we currently have about 6 months before we run out of money. So yeah, at the moment precious plastic is at an all-time low. It's really at a breaking point. And there are basically two options for us moving forward. Option 1 is the project would just die. Maybe it did what it had to do. It built this big community of plastic recyclers around the world, released some machines, it's all open source, and that's it. Our mission is completed. The website would stay online for a little bit, but slowly would degrade and would be less and less active community. Or option 2, we give it a big push, because still less than 10% of all the plastic in the world gets recycled. So we need way more people having equipment, understanding how it works, having molds, making products. Basically need a big community of plastic recyclers, so it means we have more work to do. Now, looking at those two options, to be honest, personally, at this point, I could be okay with both of them, because it's been quite heavy to push this project forward, and it's also kind of amazing how far it got just from some shitty recycling machines in a garage to having this global community of recyclers. That said though, there would be one thing that would bug me, which is that we don't use the full potential we can currently unlock. We spent years building this big global network, so if we have a new piece of information or a recycling solution and we share it, it can really spread around fast. For instance, we had this with the sheet press. We developed this new machine, shared the drawings online, and now you see people all around the world making plastic sheets. This wasn't a thing before. And secondly, we are very, very close to turning this whole project into a healthy, sustainable organization. See, in the first version, the focus was all about developing these new recycling solutions. Then we shared them open source for free. This grew a global community of plastic recyclers. And then we provided business tools so they can all financially sustain themselves. And that's where we currently are right now. We spent 10 years making all of this, and now we're one step away from completing the cycle. So yeah, I do think it would be a shame if we don't use that potential that we've been working on. Plus, I guess there are a few other reasons why it would be kind of sad if precious plastic dies. Last year alone, the Precious Plastic Network recycled 1.4 million kilograms of plastic and provided 500 jobs. Still less than 10% of all the plastic in the world gets recycled. So you need a big ass community to recycle all of that in every corner of the world, and we're very decentralized. We're an open source hardware project, one of the biggest ones in the world actually, and it's quite complex to be in the front lines of it, but it does pave the way for any other open source project to come. And we're set up as a non-profit organization, which makes sure we always stay true to our mission and users, and not shareholders and investors. Now at this point in time we have our potential and problems quite clear, but it's a big dip, and whatever we would build needs to be a big thing. It's gonna be the biggest thing we ever built. It's gonna look something like this, like a version 5. Now we're very much up for working on this and really pushing the project to the next phase. However, the thing is, we can't do this alone. The dip we're currently in is really deep, and our team is very small, and our community is really big. So in order to get out of this, we really need support from our global community, which is you guys. So here is what needs to happen. This line is going down and it needs to go up. First step to do this is sharing the problem, so everyone is aware and we can act on it. Second, we need to see support from the community. If no one cares precious plastic exists, then there's no reason to push for it. Then we need help to find funding to develop version 5. And finally, share a plan and get started building it. And we are happy to take on this entire workload, but here's where help from you guys is essential. And to help out, we added a section on the bottom of that page with the article. There are many ways to help out. Have a look and see what suits you. I'm sure there's something. The future of precious plastic will depend on the amount of action that will be taken. So at this point, no idea how it's gonna go. Either nothing and the project is gonna die and that's the end of it, or we get some sort of magical support from the community and we can continue moving forward. Not sure. We'll keep you guys up to date so you see what's going on. And do make sure to share this video and message with other precious plastic community members so they are aware of the problem, because it is going to affect them somewhere down the line. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end. It's quite a complex and heavy one, but important that you've seen it. So thank you and have a good day.